When we first met, I was 22 and felt invincible. I wasn't the skinniest girl in the world, but I was curvy in the way that people complimented. My boyfriend, Chris, used to say I had the kind of body that felt real. He loved my energy, my laugh, and the fact that I was always ready to try new things. New restaurants, new road trips, new adventures. At the start of our relationship, intimacy wasn't an issue. If anything, it was constant. He couldn't keep his hands off me, and I basked in that attention like sunlight. It wasn't just about sex, it was about the way he looked at me when I walked across a room, the way he leaned in close like I was the only thing he wanted. It made me feel powerful. It made me feel safe. But somewhere between 22 and 28, life stopped being a series of adventures and started being a blur of comfort. I took a desk job that drained me. He worked long hours at a warehouse and came home exhausted. We ordered takeout more often than we cooked. Weekends turned into Netflix binges instead of hikes. Slowly, steadily, my body changed. At first, it was little things. Tight jeans, unflattering angles in photos. I shrugged them off, told myself it was just happy weight. But happy weight grew into something heavier. In 6 years, I gained nearly 100 pounds. By 28, I barely recognized the woman in the mirror. Chris never said anything cruel. That almost made it worse. He didn't call me names or make comments about my body. But I noticed the distance creeping in. The casual touches faded. The spontaneous kisses stopped. When we sat on the couch, he sat at the far end. When I slipped into bed beside him, he pretended to be asleep. I confronted him once, half joking. "What, you don't find me attractive anymore?" I said, forcing a laugh to cover the ache in my chest. He shifted uncomfortably and muttered, "It's not that. I'm just tired." But I wasn't stupid. I could feel it. He didn't want me the way he used to. Instead of dealing with the truth, I lashed out. Every time he rejected me, I mocked him. I'd say things like, "Wow, you must be the only man on earth who doesn't want sex," or, "Maybe you should see a doctor, because something's clearly wrong with you." I acted like his lack of desire was his problem, not mine. I convinced myself I was the victim, that he was withholding affection to punish me. I told my sister about it one night, framing the story in my favor. "He won't touch me," I said dramatically, sipping wine like I was in some tragic romance novel. She frowned, then asked the question I didn't want to hear. "Do you think it might be because you've changed?" I snapped her. "So you're saying I don't deserve intimacy because I gained weight?" That's shallow. She didn't push back, but I saw the pity in her eyes. The fights with Chris got worse. Every time he avoided me, I made it a bigger deal. I'd corner him in the kitchen, demanding answers. "What's wrong with me? Why don't you want me?" Sometimes he'd try to explain gently. "I love you, but I don't know how to fix this." Other times he'd just shut down completely, staring at the floor until I stormed off. One night, in the middle of yet another argument, I said the thing that finally broke him. "Real men don't lose interest in their girlfriends. Maybe you're just not man enough." The moment the words left my mouth, I regretted them. His face hardened in a way I'd never seen before. He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just looked at me with a kind of quiet finality that made my stomach drop. 2 days later, I came home from work to find half his stuff gone. Drawers empty, closet stripped, the TV missing. There was a note on the counter, written in his neat handwriting. "I can't do this anymore. I love you, but I don't recognize who we are. I hope you find what you're looking for." I called him immediately, my hands shaking. Straight to voicemail. I texted a dozen times. Nothing. He blocked me on everything. Phone, Facebook, Instagram, even Venmo. It was like he'd erased me from his life overnight. At first, I was furious. How dare he leave me like that? How dare he not fight for us? I ranted to my friends about what a coward he was, how he just wanted a thinner girl, how he couldn't handle a real relationship. But deep down I knew the truth. I had pushed him away. I had mocked him. I had blamed him. I had ignored the reality of what my body and my choices had done to our relationship. He didn't leave because I gained weight. He left because I turned that weight into a weapon, hurling it at him every chance I got. The silence after he left was unbearable. Our apartment, once filled with the noise of video games, laughter, and late-night cooking experiments, became a tomb. I couldn't sleep in our bed without imagining him beside me. I scrolled through old photos until my eyes blurred, staring at the girl I used to be. The one he used to look at with adoration. I thought maybe I could win him back if I showed him I was serious about changing. I signed up for a gym, bought healthy groceries, even reached out to his sister to tell him I was trying. But she just shook her head. He doesn't want to hear from you right now, she said softly. Give him space. That space turned into months. He never came back. Never unblocked me. The last thing I heard, through mutual friends, was that he had moved to another city and was dating someone new. She was thinner, yes, but more than that. She was kind. She didn't tear him down the way I did. Now I sit here at 28, heavier than I've ever been, single, and alone. My friends don't ask about him anymore. My sister doesn't bring him up. Everyone has quietly accepted that I ruined something good, and that there's no fixing it. I replay our last months over and over in my head, thinking about the ways I could have handled it differently. I could have admitted my insecurity instead of masking it with cruelty. I could have asked for his help instead of making him my punching bag. I could have chosen humility over pride. But I didn't. I chose to mock him, to belittle him, to make him feel small when I was the one drowning. And he did the only thing a sane person could do. He left. Now I live with the silence he left behind. The empty bed. The missing TV. The hollow ache of knowing I had someone who loved me enough to stay through my worst, and I drove him away with words I can never take back. People think heartbreak is loud, all screaming matches and slammed doors. But the truth is, it's quiet. It's the sound of your phone not buzzing, your apartment not echoing with another person's voice. It's the silence that eats you alive when you realize you're the one who ruined it all. And at 28, sitting here alone, I finally understand. Love doesn't disappear all at once. It dies slowly, under the weight of every insult, every rejection, every moment you choose pride over vulnerability. I smothered mine to death. And now he's gone.